Hello, this is Michael Rubin, and 6 months ago or so, in June of 2014, I started talking about tongue blocking, and here I am on the second video, so I am cruising. It's January 2015. Last time I talked about when you put your tongue harp deep into your mouth, I tend to touch the harmonica with both sets of teeth. This is not a bite, this is a touch. Some people responded saying that was wrong. That one guy was especially believing that it would impede my speed, and I would hear clicky clacky sounds as I play. Well, I've been doing this 30 years. I get the speed I like, and I don't hear clicky clacky sounds when I play. However, it does bring up an important point, and that is there's no real right way to do this. This is not classical violin. There's no pedagogy, or however you pronounce that word. I have my way of doing it. You've got your way. If you don't like my way, don't do it. And if doing the opposite of my way helps you get a great tone, then great. Then I helped you. Okay. Yeah, I'm just one man's opinion is what I'm saying. So why would you tongue block? So some people think it's about the tone. So here's puckered, tongue blocked. So that was, as you could hear, that was a huge difference in tone. Okay, I'm being sarcastic. And of course, if you put a harmonica microphone up to that harp and put it into the amp at 65 watt and turn it up to 11, it's a big difference. Every little thing you do makes a difference, okay? However, this concept that the only way to get the deep, full sound, the mellow, flute-like sound of tongue blocking is by tongue blocking, I think it's ridiculous. I think the two tones are very similar. There is a difference, but when you play clean single notes in both styles, that difference becomes very minimal. I think the problem is that most people who pucker have not learned how to get a big, deep, mellow tone. Okay? And so you're comparing tongue blocking, which naturally gets the harp deep into your mouth, to puckering, where you actually have to think, I need to put the harp deep into my mouth in order to get the tone that a tongue blocker would get. So lots of people who pucker can't get the tongue block tone. They get a thinner tone. But if you realize you got to get the harp deep in your mouth, you got to do other things with your entire cavern, you can get a nice tone puckered. What tongue blocking can do for you that puckering cannot do, and we'll talk more about this later, is octaves. So if you're playing single notes, that's a big sound when you get that octave. Slaps. So that's a big sound. We'll talk more about how to do that stuff later and what it can do for you. So tongue blocking will lend itself to doing things that have a really big tone that you cannot get with single note puckering, but that you also can't get with single note tongue blocking. Again, just my opinion. So first off, you gotta work on your single note tongue blocking. So to spend a while and say, I'm not going to do anything but tongue block, and I'll start by blowing and drawing, and then do re mi, 100% tongue blocked, oh Susanna. And you're going for clean, 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 not fast, clean. And then to say, okay, I can play blues without doing any bends. So I'm going to play blues in the key of G on my C harp, second position, cross harp, no bending, in the tongue block style. You can get some nice stuff that way. Just on a side note, this is my own little soapbox. I think a lot of harmonica players spend too much time bending. And I think if you listen to some of the masters of the harmonica and really listen and say, are they bending all the time? You will notice that, no, they're not. That let's say, take somebody like William Clark. I'll bet you he spends a lot less time bending than you think he does if you really listen to what he's doing. Just an opinion. Okay. So then, you got to start bringing in the bends. Now, a lot of people will say, how can you bend while tongue blocked? You can't. That is not true. It's just as easy to bend while tongue blocking as it is not to. I mean, I say just as easy. It may not be as easy for you, but once you learn how to do it, you can definitely tongue block and bend. But there are people some of whom are famous in the harmonica world, who report that they pucker holes 1, 2, and 3, and tongue block 4 through 10, because especially on holes 2 and 3, you have multiple bends, and puckering gets them more control. Also, since you don't have to do much bending from 4 to 10 to get great sounds in either the cross-harp Mixolydian style or the third position Dorian style, you don't need as much bending up there. So you can do it tongue blocked without much effort. So yeah, especially holes 2 and 3, there are multiple bends and it takes a lot of control, and especially when tongue blocking, that's difficult to do. Also, some people think that, well, if the standard move for tongue blocking is to hold my mouth wide enough to play 4 holes and block 3 holes to the left, if I'm playing holes 1, 2, and 3, I don't have 3 holes to the left, so I should pucker, right? Maybe. I got my own opinions about that, which we'll probably get to in the next few videos. I'll see you in 6 more months. But in any case, you do not need to pucker the lower 3. But I will tell you an advantage of puckering the lower 3 is that as I embouchure switch from a pucker on, let's say, 2 draw to a tongue block on 4 blow, look how little I'm moving. Harp goes a little deeper in the mouth, but my hands aren't moving left to right, my neck isn't moving left to right. It's like they're centered in the same place. 2 draw puckered is centered in the same place as 4 blow tongue blocked. So it's a very quick shift from the 2 of them. So that's a real advantage of puckering the lower 3 holes. But, so in any case, you can bend while tongue blocked. So the question is, how do you do it? Well, bending occurs by constriction of air. There's lots of ways to constrict your air. If I was puckering and I said, ah, ooh, I would bend. Ah, ooh. So, one of the main ways that people do, and this is my main method, is to raise the back of the tongue. Okay, in a big hump in the back. Okay, so my tip of my tongue is on my back bottom teeth. You could put it on the harp if you want. Then my tongue raises so that the top front of the tongue is blocking the holes. And then as I bend, the back of the tongue raises. Okay? Now, personally, I do 2 other things. I close my jaw a little bit as I bend. So, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. So I was talking about this on Modern Blues Harmonica. We were discussing tongue blocking a while back, and somebody told me that was superfluous. So, there's a story about an artist who sculpts a horse, and they say, how did you sculpt the horse? Please teach us. And he says, it's easy. You get a block of wood, and you chip away everything that doesn't look like a horse. So there are definitely things that people do that are superfluous to the techniques, to the sounds that they're creating. And the question is it important to spend hours and hours getting rid of superfluous things in your technique? And my answer is sometimes. So I'm not sure if the closing of the jaw is superfluous or not. I just know that it's what I do, and honestly, I don't care to work that hard to get rid of it. It's just a personal thing. I'm able to get the sound I want. It's good enough for me. Okay? Another thing I do is I will push my tongue, which is, the tip is on my back bottom teeth. I'll push it a little harder on the teeth. It seems to happen anyway. As I lift my tongue, it kind of pushes the teeth forward. Look at this. Can't help it. So when I said this on the forum, people about lost their mind. The alarm started ringing. Not only did some people say it was superfluous, but it had tension. The dreaded tension. So, first off, I think people think when I say push, I'm pushing. I'm not pushing that hard. It's like I'm touching my shoulder. Okay? Little push. But, again, this concept that tension is a bad thing in music. It sounds good. That sounds good. Get rid of all your tension. Look, I'm going to blink. There was some tension when I did that. You can't move without creating some tension. Every move creates some tension. So, to me, if you're feeling pain or discomfort, that's not good. You got to get rid of that. But if you're moving your body, I think it's okay. It's just my opinion. We have tension in our lives. A little tension in our music is okay. So go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. So next time we're going to look at tongue articulation while tongue blocking. But what I want you to do is work on just clean single notes with bends. All right, I'll see you later.